Been there, done that, know what's next. Life's a journey, never complex. A lifelong student, educators call. Guiding future, standing tall. Conscious parenting, full hat on tight. Drove through decades, walked away for rights. From the motion pictures to the cosmic light. Contactee's journey, universal sight. Attempting to put the human back in humanity. Mic check, 1, 2, hear the clarity. Fascinated by the human experience. Sharing stories, breaking the silence. Human experience, hang out, come along. Kids, health, synaptic circle, singing our song. Random vlogs, life stories to tell. Each journey a beacon, wishing well. We all have incredible tales to share. Healing, activation, spreading care. Light the way, find the others. What's your mission, sisters and brothers? Attempting to put the human back in humanity. Mic check, 1, 2, hear the clarity. Fascinated by the human experience. Sharing stories, breaking the silence. Rise, humanity, unity we seek. Community sharing, synaptic circle unique. Be the solution, lift someone today. Assist in the rise, light the way. May the song lift whoever comes across, and may you do the same, no matter the cost. Spread the light, ignite the flame. In unity we rise, forever reclaim. Attempting to put the human back in humanity. Mic check, 1, 2, hear the clarity. Fascinated by the human experience. Sharing stories, breaking the silence.
Here we are. Hello. Cheers and happy Saturday.
Yeah.
Hello and welcome to episode 37 of the High Vibe Human Experience Hangout. I'm your host, Heidi Popp, and I love to have conversation with folks following their bliss, basically. Folks walking the walk, talking the talk, and folks that have a human experience that deserve a platform to share. And I love hearing about people's stories and their journeys. So I'm super duper excited. Thank you so very much, TKB. Tennessee, Kentucky, Bigfoot in the house. Cheers.
Yay! We made it.
You made it. Jim and Matt.
roll.
Thank you so much for being here. How are you guys?
We're doing pretty good. Not bad at all. Everybody's happy. Chickens are happy. Dogs are happy. Cat is happy. Cat's happy.
Wife's happy.
Wife's happy.
Wife's happy. That's all you need. That's all you need. Hello to you, beautiful chat, too. I see Daryl, Nez, Jane, Carol. How are you, folks? Blazer's back. Welcome back, Blazer. And nice to see you guys. Please
Angel
chime in at
Wings.
any time. Angel Wings. There you are. Yes, it's scrolled. Angel Wings. Welcome, welcome. Hello, peeps. Yeah, say hi and give any questions you want. I know we're all here because we support you guys. We adore you guys. And I can't wait to hear about some of these stories. But first and foremost, are you officially Tennessee or Kentucky? Where do you live?
Oh, I'm Tennessee. We're in Tennessee.
Okay, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
And you said you found your property like 30 years ago, was it?
Yeah. We're. I'm ex-military. Tina's ex-military brat, so she's like, she was all over the world, and I raised 3 boys here. This is my youngest one, and we've been on this property about 30 years. We got Tennessee, and I was working somewheres, and I was driving down the road, and I saw a sign by the woods, and I went for it. That's her mom was mad at me. What? You didn't even look at anything else? Like, no, I know exactly what I want. It was in the woods. I'm going. Bye. That's the spot. That was 30 years ago. I needed, I had spring water, and I'm like, I'm out.
Awesome.
I was originally about 20 years in Atlanta, so
Okay.
after traveling around, I was ready to.
Yeah, you're ready to settle.
I'm ready for the woods.
Yeah. It sounds like the property found you, the land found you too, to line that up pretty well. And
Yeah.
you were saying, Matt, there's crystals there, like crystal caves and everything.
Yeah.
Cool.
We got a crystal. We have our own crystal cave. We just call it Crystal Cave because Matt was digging a. He's got a cave. We got a lot of caverns, and he was digging a. He's got a cave, and he's got a couple caves actually. There's one called Matt Cave because he's the only one's ever been in it. But when I was in there with him one day, and I pulled out this big cluster of crystals, and I was like, holy crap!
Standing crystals, like they're like that, about an inch long and stuff like that, and about a cluster of them.
Mm-hmm.
And then right behind that was a big white rock. I got it right over here.
You could go get. We got crystals all over the house because they're in the windows. Hey, Matt works with the. He's going to just get one that come out of the yard.
Oh,
This is the one
gorgeous.
that came, no, not out of the yard. This is right behind the crystal cluster of that.
Yeah.
Crystal cluster. So it's just
Crystal
like,
cluster.
it's huge. Of course, we got it dirty, but yeah. Oh, there's the camera.
Oh, that's awesome. That's
yeah.
awesome. Yeah. You get
But,
your own
yeah,
little
we-
geode store.
Yeah. Well, Matt, he's good with the energy as far as working with the dragons like Angel Wings does,
Mhm.
and the dragons are really good about helping him understand energy, right?
Yeah, they're very easy with their energy to talk to and work with because they're like, seems like one of the ways that you can make gold into a liquid is with mercury. Mixing it with mercury, then gold would become liquid. And I've been correlating this with the dragons. I'm wondering if their blood is gold and mercury too. And they have
Ooh.
gold flowing through their bodies, and they also know about crystals a whole lot easier and stuff like that. So whenever you talk to them, their energy's a little smoother in comparison to a majority of the energies, like talking to the chickens I was doing,
But
but
most of your grounding comes from the Appalachian dragon.
Yes, that's where I got the first time talking to a dragon.
Yeah.
Was the Appalachian Mountain.
Yeah,
Okay.
the Appalachian dragon. It's a male dragon,
Mhm.
and it used to have fur and feathers. Whereas the Rocky Mountain dragon is a female, and she's got furs, feathers, and scales.
Yeah.
Okay.
But so that's kind of the ground we live on.
Okay. It's
And that's-
sacred. I mean, it sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, that was I think that's been part of his grounding and part of his, because the trees, he started talking to the trees, and he's just been able to. More than likely, it is the land that's helped you kind of connect more with stuff.
Just get in touch and calibrate. Because that was kind of new, wasn't it? The talking to the Appalachian dragon and stuff.
Yeah, that
kinda
was
new.
after I was starting to talk to the trees. My whole life, I've always like kind of heard the trees. Like when I was like first exploring the woods, and just walking by myself. First time Mom and Dad would get onto me for getting up too early and walking out the door, don't know where I went. But I went and go around and talk to the trees and stuff. The trees started talking to me is what it was. And later on in life, I was going to school and stuff. I was like, I can't like talk about this in school because no one really gets it. So I just kind of like passed them off, like just cut that off.
Well,
Don't listen to him.
He would get in trouble in school because he would tell the teacher, "Hey, what's that girl doing over there? That went around the corner." And he'd go look, and they say, "Get back in line." And he would see the kids. His school has got stuff going on that we don't even know about. They got this really long. It's an elementary school. It has this big smokestack. Right,
They say it's coal burner stuff like that.
Okay.
I still
So
don't
maybe
know.
old building?
But he's seen a lot of the what he called them black-eyed kids for a while.
Yeah, in the woods where the playground is.
Oh.
But I think it was something to do with coal, and I think those kids have like black eyes because I think they use those kids for coal.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Let's take it a pivot.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Whoa. Hey.
So yeah, he
You
had problems
I don't know.
in school, and he had to shut it all down.
Yeah.
And he told I think he told God he wanted to shut it down for like 6.5 years or whatever you said.
26.5.
26.5. Anyway, so it turned on when he turned 26.5.
Literally,
it turned back
Marathon there.
on.
Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah,
I have a friend like that. I have a friend who was young and things were happening and she wasn't ready and she shut it down. And now she's of age and she's like, it's coming back online because I asked it to. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Wow. But you were never scared of it, Matt, right? Like you were never,
No.
it
But
was like, it was more
gave me
interesting.
It always gave me good information and good, like when I'm walking through the day, kind of like helped me to laugh. It gives me a joke in the head or something like that, or entertainment of looking at a bug. And since the trees would send a bug to me at that time, I'm just now remembering this. The trees would just send a bug to me. One time I was sleeping on a bench down below in front of a tree. And I was sleeping and I was having vivid dreams of something. I don't know what I was dreaming about, but when I woke up, I looked underneath my head, and there was a coiled up snake sleeping, a black snake. But I'm like, I wonder what that was about, because things are more spiritual than we could recognize. And the snake was at rest and sleeping, and was happy.
Okay.
I could tell. And I got my brother over there, and we started playing with the snake.
Start playing with it?
Yeah.
Wow. Do you think this is something that just certain people have, like a gift certain people have, or you think everybody has the ability to like talk to the trees and animals? They just it's dormant or it's pushed down or something. Do you think everybody has that opportunity to do that?
I think the opportunity comes whenever you're out in the woods at any point in time. It's just whenever you're open for it. You know, when you get that time of rest to actually sleep in front of a tree or something like that, not thinking you're in front of a tree or anything, you know, I wasn't. So I figured it might be the same for everyone else.
Mhm.
Don't think about you going to do it. It comes to you.
Yeah.
You come with these thoughts and you're like thinking it's your thoughts, but it might actually just be just the tree. And
Yeah.
later I found out the correlations all lined up to the trees that was actually the ones that were giving the information. Like they'll tell me about the history of the the land. Like they'll be like, I'll be in front of a tree and there'll be old horsebacks with the cattle and stuff like that, and shows me where the roads are and shows me how people walked through there and stuff like that. So you can see the energy of how people flowed through the land and stuff like that. So you might see some history play out in front of you.
Oh, that's
You know,
incredible.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
Wait, let me interrupt him because I like to throw the things in there. I like to throw him under the bus. You know, this started when he chased a monster under his bed.
Oh, how
Well,
old were
yeah.
you?
Well,
Wow.
He was how old were you?
no, actually, the tree gave me strength to chase the monster underneath the bed. But this is when I was in elementary.
Talk towards it.
Oh, I'm a little closer. That's
Yeah.
fine. I was
Talk towards the phone. The phone.
the phone computer. All right. It was I was about elementary. I think I was in kindergarten somewheres in that time frame.
Mhm.
And I felt like there was a boogeyman underneath the bed. So I was like, the trees gave me confidence that there's nothing to fear in this world besides your own self not coming to the truth. And I was confused about that for a while. And then it came to me that night whenever the boogeyman was underneath my bed. I was like, I got to go to the truth. I cannot fear. There's nothing to fear. The tree told me there's nothing to fear till I come to the truth. So I went under the bed to chase that little sucker down wherever I could find him. And of course, there was nothing there. But I had to look down in the darkness to recognize there's some energy here. Whether it's spiritual or not, I don't know. I'm just going to look it down and tell it I love it. And I love you. And I need you. Not, am I not loud enough?
No, towards.
Oh, I can hear. Yeah, you're good. You're good.
I'm sorry.
I'm just trying to keep you on screen. Go ahead.
I know. I'm trying,
You're good.
remember.
He's looking up.
I know. I'm looking up because I'm
Thinking.
trying to look back in my brain, you know. and
Okay,
say-
so you're chasing down the monster, and you told him you loved it. What happened?
tell him I loved him, and I don't want to be messed with no more because you're messing with me. And the monster was like, okay, I get out of the way, you know, I'll let you be free, you know, something like that. I did a video or something like that once, but I don't remember exactly all that happened. But
Yeah. Well, I was just bringing up the
No.
point that you had started chasing
Clearly.
down.
Yeah.
When
fear.
you're
I
young.
chased the
Yeah.
fear that was in my life, you know,
That's amazing. Yeah.
to get to the truth. What is the issue in this spot?
And
you
which
know?
which
Yeah.
you'd brought up with Jamie on the last conversation she had about the giant. Right? And so
George.
she's
Yeah.
the one that told us. Matthew never told us. She's like,
Oh.
yeah, he's the one that went down and with his sword and chopped the chains and freed George. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And he keeps a lot of stuff
She-
to himself.
Yeah, she
Always.
she reminded me of that. And I remember it was that time frame with the boogeyman. Maybe a couple nights later, I had another vision or dream. Just felt like it was just not me astral traveling. Maybe I was or not. I don't know. But there was a spot where this giant, huge human, he was in a chair, cuffed in chains to the like electric chair, what they will set you up as to be locked down in an electric chair type of deal. So he was strained down like that, and me at the time was talking to God and stuff like that, learning about God. I recognized that. I looked at the energy of this man and recognized he has done nothing wrong in his whole life besides the effects that was caused because of society ways around his life. So I pulled, there was some type of, I think it was Jamie that gave me the sword, because out of the blue flame above me and him, the Georgia Giant, a sword came on down, and I went and grabbed it. I didn't even look at it. I was just already going to swing something at it. If I would grab anything, I was going to grab anything. I didn't care what it is, but I'm going to sling something at the chains around his ankles and his wrist. And a sword came down right at the right time when I was about to punch it with my hand. I didn't care about hurting my hand. The spirit, I would think it was physical too. So I didn't mind if I punched it. And the sword came into my hand and I swiped it. I didn't notice till after I hit it. And I was like, dang, there's a sword. Woohoo. I busted it on through and busted that giant free, and those with principalities of some type that was around, they couldn't handle the energy that was around or something like that. They couldn't be around. So they I don't know, but that was the main thing. Jamie reminded me of that dream during that time period.
Yeah,
Wow.
remembers it more clearly.
Yeah, she got more
She
memory.
had some details.
That was many years ago for them, both of them.
Mhm.
Wow.
And that's the elementary memory. That's like kindergarten. Like,
And so,
I don't remember nothing in kindergarten, but I remember my dream back then.
Yeah, that's intense. That was that. Yeah, which
and
was
see,
the real.
George came back along in our lives when we got it. We was up in Kentucky. That's why it was Tennessee, Kentucky, is because we've had experiences both in Tennessee and Kentucky.
Okay.
And we were up in Kentucky, and we had a very bad experience that night where we had like ET type stuff. We don't really know what. There was a lot of stuff, but this thing that jumped off the hill, boom, was George.
Oh, was that the 2021? I have 3 major ones. Okay, yeah. Tell us about. Yeah, so that was the George running down the hill towards you.
George,
Oh,
right. So we found
okay.
this out later on from a reading from another friend of ours.
Mm-hmm.
And she remote viewed me, and that's why we don't talk to her no more, because she didn't get my permission. And that's why. And so it was a good friend of mine. I'm still mad at her. Her name's Michelle. I ain't gonna say her last name, but she told us a lot of stuff. But one day I was sitting in the hot tub and I knew someone was watching me. I felt it, and I banned her. And I said, in the name of Jesus, you'll have these rights. And I banned you, and I banned you from my property, and I banned you. And I walked in the house, and Matt's like, I just got a text from Michelle. She says you banned her, and have a nice life. And I was like, holy crap. Well, I was like, well, she should have done that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So I feel that way with these remote viewers, man.
Yeah.
They're stepping on.
No.
Yeah.
You got to be,
you got to ask permission.
You're supposed to ask
Yes.
permission,
Thank you.
right?
Yes. Wow.
But anyway, so like I said, she was giving us a lot of this information, but he had jumped off that cliff and boom, he hit the ground.
Yeah, you feel it.
You felt the ground bounce, and he jogged down the mountain, come down to us.
Yeah, 4 steps 4 times.
He basically took care of us, or basically probably kept from whatever it was that was on top of us. It was on top of us. We were pinned to the ground. Technically, we couldn't move. He had his gun, and that was it. He was waiting. George was the one that came walking up, and he pulled the gun and thought he was going to have to shoot. And he woke me up, so I'm getting ready to shoot, Dad. And I'm like,
getting ready to fire this gun.
I don't care. Start shooting, buddy. I'm done. I'm done.
Start shooting.
What do you mean?
Say.
What do you mean holding you down though? Like sleep paralysis, or like you physically holding? Yeah.
No, we were between some big rocks up on a mountain in between. We were held down in the woods. We couldn't get out because it's rain.
Gotcha. Yeah. So you were held. Gotcha.
And it was pitch dark. It was a new moon. It was pitch dark.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no way we could get out because I was in my mind trying to figure out we was going to go back to back. I was doing my military stuff. How can we get out of here? There's no way. We just had to wait. We had to wait for it to attack us. And George, basically, that's when George came in. And then, like I said, Matt was stalking the trees, and then eventually George, you connected to George.
Yeah, I finally
eventually over
connected to
time.
George.
Mm-hmm.
And then because of Michelle connected to George first.
Yeah, Michelle, she was one of those that can travel. I don't, astral travel.
Astral travel.
And so she said that when she first went out there and she saw him and she left, she ran. And she was like, nah. She goes, it's a real man. It's a giant. He's as tall as the trees. I remember he wears clothes. It's real. And so she was a little freaked out.
And a redhead. Look out.
Yeah, a redhead. Yeah. And so a little while later, she calmed down and was like, I'm going to go back. So she went back. And he actually tried to put his hands through her. And she's like, no, because George's like, what are you? And she's like, I'm not here physically.
Mm-hmm.
And so anyway, she was the one that kind of introduced us, got us talking to George.
But back to that night, back to talking to George from that night, he showed me that he was just following spirit at the time. He was showing me how he was following spirit. And what he did is he felt like before he jumped off the cliff, he said, felt that he had to make his presence known. So he jumped off and thudded the ground.
Boom.
Made sure he made himself known because he just felt like he had to do this for some reason, for something that was going on down in the valley. And then he just felt like he needed to run on down this way. So that's why he did his little 4 steps 4 times. And on the last step, he felt like a real strong urge to stop right now because
that's when you were getting ready to pull the trigger.
That's whenever I was about to pull the hammer back because I got a revolver and I'll be pulling the click back. And that one click is very loud in the woods. Definitely how quiet it was. It was dead silent. And all we was hearing was just a little tick, tack on the tent.
But that was
all night.
That was the night that we had the cricket digital modem thing float by. I think it was some kind of ET thing you make it. That gave me my second heart attack. My first heart attack was the thing in the tree shaking it. And I wrote Math. I was like, what is that? And he's like, oh, the hell is this? Like, I don't either.
Take your earplugs out.
Was that the same night? Because you had 3 major instances. Okay. Jeez, the same night. Holy smokes.
That was our wake up as far as really, I don't know, fear. We came home and tell you we were pale for 3 days.
Oh gosh. That got you good.
Yeah,
I could even go outside and have a regular smoke at night, like I usually do. I go outside, have roll my own little homemade tobacco and stuff like that, smoke, and I couldn't do it. No, that I couldn't do it for about a week or more. I couldn't go outside to even roll my own smoke at night. I was like,
But yeah,
I heard a little
totally
tick tack on the ground somewhere.
Well, I've never had what they call PTSD, but I realized PTSD is when something happens and then you're back in a horror movie, back in that experience. See, I never had that before, but I would come home and I'd be sitting out in the hot tub and I'd hear something. I'm back in that tent where it happened. I'm like, oh shit. And I realized, now I know what PTSD is. It's when you go back to a horror in your head that you
get like re-traumatized over. Yeah. Oh, that's so intense. Well, to cut all the intensity, let's do a quick shout out. You have some pals saying howdy. I don't know if you missed it. Let's see. Mark's Adventure. He's saying hello and outside. I saw from South Ohio there.
There's Puck.
John P.
Puck. Yeah. Puck Elf.
Yeah.
Officially Big North there. Moon, nice to see you.
Bigfoot North.
Bigfoot North now.
Peaceful Penguin.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
Midwest.
So sweet. Jason H. Howdy.
Midwest and Blazer. We love you guys' shows. I missed you last Sunday and I was like, dadgummit. That's my good Sunday show.
It's a good Sunday show. We're going to catch the replay.
Ain't it great? I mean, it's like watching Johnny Carson now. We got our buddies, you watch them and you go, oh yeah, Johnny's on tonight.
Yeah, totally. That's it. Well, so that was the third of 3 major events. I mean, you have so many events, but I did notice on your YouTube preface, you were talking about 2010, 2018, and 2020. Do you want to share a little bit about those? Or is it actually, I guess we'll just roll into what you feel like sharing.
It
sounds like 2020 was the traumatic one. Were the other two that traumatic?
Yeah. I think
the very first experience, I'm going to try to can it quickly. We can kind of cap it. I can kind of summarize. My first experience I had went up to Big South Fork, which is deep. You can't get into it, really deep parts of it. And I went back. I used to go backwoods camping, and a buddy of mine was supposed to meet me, and it was more like a spiritual thing for me. I don't know what. I'm Cherokee, and I don't know why, but I just knew I needed to go, and so I went about 4 miles out and set up camp in the middle of nowhere by myself. My buddy was supposed to come, but he didn't come. I didn't really care. For some reason, I just felt like I don't like I said, I can't explain. I just know that I needed that experience, and I felt ooby boobies on my back, oogie joogies, and I smoked tobacco that has sage in it, and I would blow it over the campfire, and it would clear it up. But I kept feeling it. I turned around, basically faced that area, and anyway, I went to bed about 3 o'clock that morning. Something like take a Walmart bag was shaking my tent really, really violently. And I was laying there, and I'm in a one-man tent because I do backwoods camping. So you gotta really pack light. And I came to, and I realized something is shaking the holy hell out of your tent. It's got a hold of it. And my heart came up, and I was like, calm down, because I didn't want to have a heart attack, because I could feel my heart coming up. So I started breathing, calm down. What is this? It's got to be rational. Raccoon. At that time, we had no idea there was Bigfoots in Tennessee. Zero. Nah, I think a lot of people the same way back. We always thought they were up in Washington.
That was like 2015, 2014 or something like that.
Yeah, that was
whenever he had this experience.
Right.
And average time.
And so anyway, I prayed to God. I said, I don't know what it is, but if it's going to kill me, get me by the neck. I don't want to be dragged off in the woods. And I went back to sleep. Later on, I did find out from Scott that I could have actually went outside and smoked a cigarette with a Bigfoot. And I was like, damn it. I'm still mad today. I want to go. I've still got that challenge in my life to sit down with a Bigfoot and roll him a smoke and say, here you go, buddy. But,
Scott showed me that my dream about me chasing that boogeyman underneath the bed, it's the same concept with them. Go out there and face it. Whatever is fearing you, you have to face it. That's just how life is. Mm-hmm. It's the polarity life that we all live in, the good and the bad. You live with it. Yeah. So face it so you could resolve it somehow. Now, don't go in a conflict and try to mess yourself up if you can't handle yourself. If you can't handle yourself, don't try it. Don't test yourself if you ain't ready to be tested, right?
So that was the end of. So that night, like I said, I went back to sleep. Lord, take me or leave me. I'm done. Went to sleep, and next weekend I dragged Tina up there. That's how crazy I am. I took her backwoods camp. I don't know why I do that. We did the same thing in Tennessee and Kentucky. I'm like, no, I will not be scared out of the woods. No, we're going. We did the same thing. I said, we're going. Was it the next weekend or the next new moon? The next new moon, we went back to Tennessee, Kentucky to face that
darkness.
But we went back loaded. We went back. We looked like a military camp.
Yeah,
we were loaded, baby. We didn't know what it was, but we were ready. We were serious, weren't we?
Yeah, we were quite serious. We were like, we don't know if we need to fight or.
So I took Tina up, and she was sitting over by the rock. And like I said, we didn't know this Bigfoot. It took us a long time to learn all this stuff. She was sitting there, and I was carrying firewood back from. She was having she's had a lot of nervous breakdowns in her life. I got her lost behind the Berlin Wall. I've had to make her walking sticks to get her out of caves and walking sticks to get her off rafting. So she's had a very rough life with me, and so
she's still around somehow.
So I took her out there, and it's a 4-mile hike, right? I get her out there, and it's getting dark and it's raining, and she's wet, and she knows we're not coming out of here tonight. I'm like, nope, you can't come out of here. It's impossible. You cannot hike. You can barely hike in during the day because of the train. And anyway, she was sitting on the other. She was starting to get a little happier because the fire and everything. I could see a little bit more color in her face. She was starting to come out of her panic again. She knew I didn't got her in trouble. And behind her, we heard knock, knock. And my eyes went like that, and her eyes looked at me. And we're like. And at the time, we still didn't think it was Bigfoot, did we?
No.
We really didn't even know.
I mean, we watched the Bigfoot shows and stuff, but that was like, that's wild.
Bigfoot wouldn't do a knock in the woods. That's what we were thinking.
Yeah, marks of interest.
Does Bigfoot smoke blunts, or do you just see Bigfoot if you spin up smoking blunts?
Bigfoot gets a lot better stuff than we get. Trust me. They got stuff underground. They got algae and stuff that Yeah,
They
that's a
got
whole
mushrooms,
different story.
too. They even
They
got
got-
mushrooms.
They
Yeah,
got
they
the
love their
mushrooms around the whole
mushrooms.
world. Yeah,
You
yeah.
go, you go picking mushrooms. You better be careful because you take the Bigfoot's mushrooms. They like their mushrooms.
They will be
They
on
do.
that.
I
By the
had some-
way, Angel tells you, Matt, you got some dragons on your head. They're
Yes,
playing with
dragons
your
on your
hat.
head.
They're like, oh, rollers.
They all
I
there.
can tell. Yeah.
And hello, Jessica. Hi, Jessica.
Crypto's country.
Yay. Sorry, but go ahead there.
Okay, no problem.
Bigfoot smoke stuff and see stuff. Oh, here we go.
Yeah. So we had what was it? That was
You still didn't know it was a Bigfoot, basically. You heard.
yeah,
You
yeah.
heard
And so I
things that
took
freaked
mom
you
out
out.
there,
Mhm.
right?
Mm.
And then we had it was years later. We was down. We go paying for. Like I'm an explorer, so we paying for go down in Coca Creek, Tennessee. Been doing it for years. And everybody's like, "Hey, don't go in Tennessee," and I'm like, "Just keep it that way.
Yeah.
That's what you think. That's fine."
Yeah,
But
there's
then-
nothing. We promise.
yeah, there ain't no gold. Me and Matt's never found no gold in
Never
Tennessee.
pulled it out before.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's keep it to ourselves, man. I ain't sharing.
But we've been down there camping, and we were on this. We were at whatever that campsite is there. But we were there for like 6 nights in
Hammers Camp.
Hammers Campground, and we were there for 6 nights. And these hounds were chasing something, and I was in a tent, and he was sleeping in like a little teeny metal camper pull behind, and we heard things. Well, this is I'm trying not to jump ahead because I haven't told you guys what Scorpion King is, but we heard these pounds like horses, like like a herd, and
buffalo,
like a herd of
something like
buffalo,
that. Because
right.
they don't make no snorting snout or something like that. They're like a quiet herd
Yeah.
that runs through.
Right.
Only thing you can hear is the thunder of their feet.
Yeah, if you read Revelations 19, it talks about Scorpion King. That's who that was. That was the first time that he come across us. And it
Yeah,
tells you in
but
Revelations 19
Revelation
that his wing sounds. Is it 9 or 19?
Nine.
Okay.
19?
Anyway,
No.
they can look it up. Anyway, so but his wings sound like
Horse's thunder.
yeah. And so
Yeah, something like that.
so I'm sitting on my little cot and I'm watching my front of my tent and I'm waiting for it to fold in on me because I'm like, I'm gonna die. What? How did a herd of buffalo get out here, or the herd of whatever this cows or bulls?
Mhm.
And anyway, it went to us
It seemed like it hovered above us and then went on.
and then went on. And so my heart came up again and I calmed down and again, breathe, calm down. And I hadn't had a chance to say anything to Matt because at that point, coming up the creek, I heard coming up 2 feet. And I'm like, what the hell is this? And it come running past us. And we were about 15 foot away from the thing.
Mhm.
And it was, and the water's like 2 or 3 foot deep. And it jogged past us. And of course, that's when I was like, Matt, did you hear that? And Matt's like, did you hear the herd? And I'm like, was that 2 feet? And he goes, yeah. And I was like,
Yeah.
holy crap. And he's like, what about the herd? And I was like, and then at that time we had to shut up because here it come again,
Going up the creek again.
coming up and down the
Whoa.
creek.
Yeah, what the heck?
There's 7 passes on us.
Mhm.
And one time it went up and kicked this dog. You heard the dog go, "Rrr," and the dog was up creek. I'm going to just give you a short version. And we know it got it by the mouth because you heard the dog go, "Rrr," and it went quiet. And then we heard the dog, and this was the lead dog because he was the loudest one. And then we heard him they had picked him up and took him down the creek. And to get the other dogs off. I think they were playing. I don't know.
Mhm.
But that was
I mean, I remember very clearly. He kicked the dog going into the creek and went toot, toot, purr, and all the dogs were running down with him. And then at the very end, far away, I heard the lead dog got quiet, and then the Bigfoot came up through here, or what we think is Bigfoot, came back past us. While the other dogs are still down there, but the lead dog is quiet. And then the dog got let loose, and he started barking. And then the other dogs recognized where the lead dog is, so then they finally caught up to each other by coming back together about where we're at. Maybe a little bit more downstream where they got together. And then they went and lost the trail of the Bigfoot from what we can hear.
So we had a whole giant episode, and then that morning I went down. There was an Airbnb little cabin, right? I don't know, 100 feet, 200 feet up the creek. went up there and said, well, what was going on? They're like, they were asking me, what the hell went on? They said they came out with their guns because they couldn't figure out what was running up and down the creek. And we're like,
Wow.
yeah, we don't know either. But
And you said the creek was like 2 to 3 feet deep.
Yeah,
like,
2 or
that's what
3
you're saying.
feet.
So you can't exactly like run easily through it.
Yeah,
oh my gosh.
Yeah, well, you could hear the dogs going
Washing.
So you hear the dogs running, you know. But this dude was clearing water, toosh, 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 and I'm like, holy crap! That was our first time realizing that there's giants or Bigfoots. That was when my light bulb come on. They're here. You know, that was it.
Yeah.
And so that was.
Whoa.
Yeah, so we had chilled out for a long time after that, and me and Tina was going up. Like I said, I'm always exploring. They'll tell you, I'm always in the woods. I'm always in caves. I'm all over the place. And so we and her were driving up through Tennessee, coming down to Kentucky. I was trying to find access to Big South Fork, which is a big national park. I wanted to get in the middle, which is impossible.
Mm-hmm.
And so we found this place, and I thought, man, this place looks squatchy. Goofing off, technically squatchy. I was like, because it looks weird, and scary. And I was like, that's cool. And so that's when I took Matt up, and me and Matt had went out that day, and we put trail cams. And I know I went down this. We split this one creek, and he went this way to put trail cams. I went that way, and the whole time I was walking down there, I had that oogie something's on
my back.
Something was making me nervous. Something was
saying no. What are you doing?
So we put those trail cams up. I think that's what made them mad. Because that's that night that they come in on us.
Yeah, we had steak and
and
potato. Steak.
Then we had steak, and we were like, we.
I don't think they really ate anything else besides steak. I don't remember well,
but yeah, that was the last and big one, and then it's been after that. Matt turned on, started talking to trees. He's talked to George. He's talked to George and Johnny. He also talked to. Or Big Scott, the Bigfoot. Scott's.
So what came first?
On and on now.
Yeah, what came first was the trees. Then we talked to the Georgia Giant, and then the Bigfoot, Scott, and then it was Scorpion King, and Scorpion King led us to the dragon, Appalachian dragon.
Let me tell you about Scorpion King. What happened?
Scorpion.
Scorpion King's in Revelations. Now, what happened was, I have a friend up in Kentucky. Now, he might be in the chat. He had got run out of the woods. He got run out of the woods. A friend of ours in Kentucky, he got run out of the woods, and I saw his thing on Facebook, so I talked to him and became good friends with him. But anyway, where am I going?
Sorry.
Oh, Scorpion King. Okay, so. Yeah, what happened with Scorpion King was, and so Scott, which is our Bigfoot buddy, he went up to Kentucky. He was kind of helping out our friend. Well, he found out there was this thing that was kind of like, it's scorpion. It's a scorpion with wings and all this stuff like it described.
He got a breastplate and a
crown and all this stuff. But anyway, he had
a man's face.
One day we were doing a live with someone, and he was in his eyes. He's actually seeing through because he could see through the eyes, like of Scott. So Scott was showing him. Yeah, Scott was showing him, but Scott had chased this creature at the time from Kentucky to West Virginia, where he got him by the tail, and Scorpion King twisted and basically cut his hands or whatever because he was getting ready to swing him and hit a tree with him. Anyway, so Scorpion King gets away, and then Scorpion King come to talk to George, the giant.
Mm-hmm.
And George is 178
now.
178 now. Now Scott's 18.
Yeah,
now 18. Okay, so anyway, he come to talk to George, and what happened was, the Scorpion King works for God. He's a God spy, right? I didn't know this. We don't know this stuff, and it's really funny because the joke that I make with Scott is I was shooting at a hawker, and Scott was like, "Dude, why do you just shoot without thinking? Shut up over there." And anyway, so the I was like, okay, well, at least I didn't go out and try to beat up one of God's spies. So it's been an ongoing joke, but that's how we found out who Scorpion King. Now Scorpion King he does come in, and we have a lot of readings from him.
Yeah, it's like
He comes in whenever we need something that he knows we
if
need.
you want something
He
from
just
the
knows.
Bible or want to learn something about the past history of both
Well-
Moses and what's been written down and what's been said about God's word and stuff like that, he'll
Well,
come in
tell
and
him-
clarify.
Tell
a
him
lot
what
of
Scorpion
things.
King does. What does he do?
He amplifies a family energy
For example,
in the house.
Yeah.
If it's a negative energy going on in the house, he'll amplify it. He loves to do positive energy, but since there's been so much negativity in America and a lot of other places actually,
Mhm.
he has to amplify the negativity of the area. So the family will either have to
fight, kill, or get over it.
get
But
over
he
it, get
makes
past
you
the
get off
It
negative.
like comes to a head. He like, come on, let's figure this out.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Face your fear, get to the truth, right?
Gotcha.
Or you
Gotcha.
gotta
Get off.
get off
Woo.
or
Yeah.
you
Yeah, so Scorpion
Mhm.
King,
Make
if
it
he
work
comes to
out.
visit,
Wow.
if he comes to visiting, he will get you off the fence.
and if the
And
lesson
how do you how do you know you're hearing him? Like what's your sign that you're okay, Scorpio King's here? What's his telltale
trying to
sign?
remember, 'cause it's been a while. This past couple months, I haven't had any readings from them out of all of them because it's they're showing me that we have to be recomping of what we've written down this whole past year or 2 years, and redoing the videos and reread what's been said.
Yeah, we got to get out
You
we got to
know?
get out what we've already got.
We got to
Okay.
clarify the information, make sure the information's right, and that's where they come in, is to clarify the information right now. Is
Yeah,
what
they
I'm saying.
clarify.
Mainly the
Gotcha.
dragon. The big dragon, he's in this more. The other ones ain't so much. Like Mother Gaia, she's in there just to play around.
Yeah.
She loves her little precious.
Yeah,
That's what she just said.
Aw, she probably loves you taking care of that land so well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she loves anybody trying to do anything good.
Yeah.
In the best way they can.
Yeah.
So
Makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
the way I read from Scott is I used to get a little taste of copper on my tongue, metallic on my tongue, stuff like that, just like electricity in my mouth, And then George, I get the shivers. Like this is back before we fixed that, but I used to got like a little shakes, like because his presence, I guess, was just like kind of shaking my shoulders, something like that, just shaking, like ugh.
Well, you learn
but,
to go talk through the.
Then the dragon, after talking to the dragon, I was able to, with Scorpion King, I think it was just clarity, the way he came in. It was just like, the way he speaks to me was like, ye shall be this, or thy shall shit. I'm sorry.
Oh my!
I'm saying it to myself all the time.
Well,
Well,
these and thous.
good.
Sorry, Scorpion King.
You Scorpion.
But he says ye and thee a lot. He's very distinctive saying stuff like that.
Yeah.
But the dragon, he came along later on after Scorpion King, and he showed Georgia Giant and Scorpion King how to talk through this crystal. Like they actually wear a necklace now, a crystal, and they talk through that. And this crystal goes to a source area that through the dragon, I think.
So it's clean conversation.
It's clean conversation that it's directed to where your intentions goes to. You intend to talk to this person, so they intend to talk to me, type of deal. It goes straight to me, no one around, or vice versa, going through there, talking to the spiritual crystals. What I see as
It's your own walkie-talkie.
yeah, exactly. It's like what's in heaven is the same as in the reality. They got a phone.
Well,
That's what it feels like.
Jim Morrison has one now.
Yeah, we were talking to Jim Morrison.
Yeah. He's
Are you?
Yep. Jim Morrison got one from the Georgia. They basically
from the dragon.
Yeah, they figured out how to talk without the energy. Because see, if you're talking to someone in those dimensions, you pick up the energy.
Yeah,
And so you've got to
And
go
then you
through
become a
crystals.
target.
Yeah, so you got to
Yeah.
go through crystals so you will have clean communications without. Because I mean, a lot of times, like George was talking to George one day, and he'd swam down into this cave. It's between Hawaii and Mexico, and he swam down, and he was like, "Dude, I found this cave, and I'm going up through it." But Matthew could actually feel the temperature,
the cold water.
He get the chills.
You're
That's
picking
where I
up
got
on
the
all
chills.
of that.
I kind of feel it just thinking of it now. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's what that was
Yeah.
about. I was getting cold because how cold it was down there.
Yeah.
And how the pressure was tight. So you actually feel it against the skin.
So every once in a while,
That's how deep he went.
but they can let you feel. I know a lot of them have done that. They show you the feeling so you can go, ooh. So,
Yeah.
I mean, you know how a lot of mediums are.
I was just going to say, yeah, that's like a medium work.
Clairvoyants, they get chills or they cough or they, based on what energy comes in at them.
Yeah. Would you say you officially have that title now, Matt? Like you're clairvoyant, or?
That's what I call them.
I say clairvoyant.
That's what I'm calling everyone. I'm kind of like,
I know, right? Really, it's like everybody.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I don't really like the word. I was using medium and I was using psychic and I was using, but I'm kind of like thinking more. I start seeing more people who are really clairvoyant, which is basically, I call it clairvoyage. Clairvoyant, they can see. And people, my grandma was a clairvoyant. She could see, she was Cherokee Indian. And everyone, made fun of her because, because you would just tell them, this is what's going to happen. It's going to rain tomorrow.
So then she thinks,
okay.
Yeah, but I wouldn't call myself any title because, I mean, for me, I'm like, there ain't no title to describe what's natural for everybody. So, I mean, I get your point.
Well, let me say this because this is something that we've been talking about for about a week. Is I've been this is what I get strong. I don't know if it's true or not, but the tower, Babylon.
Tower of Babel.
Tower of Babel.
Tower of Babel.
Now the Tower of Babel. Now this is what I feel. The Tower of Babel was a piece of equipment ET built, and it basically turned off telepathy on this planet. Our natural language. That's why we all had to learn new languages. So it kind of makes sense why people, why they have 12 tribes, 12 star signs, 12 ET tribes, just saying. But, to me, we all used to be telepathic. There was no reason for words. And now we have to go to school to learn words, right?
Learn what someone else taught.
So someone can teach us. So they basically, I believe
their meanings.
So to me, that turned off telepathy and disconnected us from Gaia and disconnected. And then of course they created new ley lines and all that kind of stuff. And now that's why we have, they basically corrupted the whole system to keep us.
That makes sense to me, especially when babies that come into the world, they're not speaking, but they sure as hell can communicate. If you can tap into them, they're communicating. They're doing their best. Yeah. It was interesting too with my little class, we were doing Joseph in the Dreamcoat last year. Really our little learning center, we go through all mythology, we go through all we just deliver it all because they're all like stories of morality and lessons. But the clairs came up. The clairs are biblical, I think. People were talking about being clairvoyant and how everyone had a different title almost, and that was normalized a little bit. I thought that was really interesting. So the fact that you're bringing that up now, or that you're, relating to that now, having been on this sacred land, it just makes sense. It resonates. It all resonates. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Moon and Noon, every species. School isn't for education; it's for programming tiny minds. Totally hear you, Mark. Totally hear you.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we do nerve education.
I got notes over here. I'm just writing down random things that come to me. I think it's cool to talk about.
Yeah.
Like that CERN. There's a CERN event recently.
Oh yeah.
I can't remember. It's been a few weeks ago.
It's happened a few times where they opened it, right?
Yeah. Where they were doing some stuff. A month ago or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And it was
it might have been
equinox or solstice.
No, it was. You're talking about the.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one was maybe October.
Okay, around October
maybe.
And so anyway, I think we're up on it as far as knowing it was coming and all that stuff. And then so you were sleeping. Now you got to tell you the story. What happened? You were sleeping.
I just got into the bed, like literally straight up got into the bed, and I just had a white flash in my eyes. Like when I closed my eyes, I had a white flash pop and a snap in my head, like bam. Like, well, I guess CERN must have done something from what I can gather. So I closed my eyes again and went to I guess my astral body or something like that. But I went out and went and checked CERN in Switzerland and recognized they were doing something there. And there was two others or 3 others that went off at the same time, and one was around here in America, one was around in Australia, and there was another one,
The colliders.
I think maybe in India for some reason. I'm saying now, but I don't remember what I said previously in the video that we did.
I don't know, but anyway, there was 3 colliders going off.
There was mainly 3 colliders that was going off, and I pulled the one that was successful into doing what they were achieving for, was in Switzerland. That one, I pulled out the black goo that they created, and
But they were like, you said they were like doing some weird dances and stuff. Man, there's some weird people there, weren't there?
yeah, they were
Gnarly,
doing
yeah.
vanity dancing, like
Vanity
not like
dancing.
real.
Yes.
It's like I don't know how to explain that energy.
It's like a ceremony, wasn't it? Like
Yeah,
some sort of
they do like
dark. Mm-hmm.
they do that. It's just like I don't know.
So you remember you said you had to like,
Oh, so they actually created this black goo. Like physically, they actually created this black goo. One thing, and the second thing is, I saw the black goo that I could grab spiritually out of there, the essence of that stuff, take it out of it, so nothing harmful could be done. Nothing that they've done right there can actually go into doing what they've willed to do. Negatively.
do something.
It will have to.
How'd you distract them?
Yeah, how did you get it?
Oh, that was funny because
Yeah.
I did not want them to connect to me spiritually, because it seems like CERN, they have a lot of dark workers there, and the only way to distract a dark worker is by putting them into darkness. That's what I saw in my head at the time. So what I did is flashed a big old light in that whole place that was a light of blackness is what it was. So it was like, it wasn't a blackout. I just shined a bright light of blackness.
And they
in
thought
there.
they'd done something.
And they thought they'd done some spiritual thing at the time. So it was like,
It worked.
And they're all excited. Ooh, we did it. We
Yeah.
caught it.
Yay! And I'm like,
Whatever they're doing.
whatever they're calling in. I'm like, well, and that's another thing. Satan can only get what's his. So he can't get good people that's not his.
Okay, so anyway,
but that's
you
besides
did
that.
something.
So I got the black goo. Well, I shined a black darkness light in there, and saw where the goo's at. Went and grabbed it, and I got out of it real quick. And they were like all joyful after I like let off the black light, and they're like doing whatever the weird things they're trying to do with it. And then I went up to space, and I talked to mother guy at the time. Was like, "Is there anywhere that you want this black goo?" And she's like, "It won't do me any well, but I know there's someone out there up in space for you to talk to." So I went up there to the atmosphere area, and there was huge one of God's dragons is what I connected to as what it is. Before God created the first thing God created.
Off track.
Oh, it's about the dragon. I'm like, one topic goes to another topic.
I know,
another
I know
topic.
you can't help it.
I know we can't help it. Okay, but go ahead. So the dragon, what happened?
So the big dragon
I'll keep it on track.
said, "Yes, I do got a good." I asked him, "Do you got something you want to do with this black goo?" And the dragon said, "Yes, I got plenty of places for that black goo that will work out great for where he sees it could lay out." So I was like, "All right, cool, man. Please take it away because we don't want it here from what I can gather with Miss Mother Gaia."
Yeah.
So
he took it away.
he took it away.
I think he brought it to Hollywood because we're always with
Always
black goo here.
always-
There's
somewhere.
black goo in all the music videos. Wow.
So what did he do? His little paws came in.
So I brought my hand up to him, and his claws came down like that and picked up the black goo, and every trace was gone because of his feathered claw fingers.
Feathered claws.
It just like you got the claws, and then you got the feathers that are as stiff like claws, but
Yeah.
it just took all that black goo just like that.
Yeah. I mean, these dragons are all feathered because they move planets with their tails.
Their tails are so
They're so fur that if they laid around you, you wouldn't even feel it because it's all feathers.
yeah,
Oh.
it's all feathers and fur.
Yeah, they align
Fur and
this. They
feathers.
align all that stuff.
Yeah, the tails are.
They're the
super
energy
thick and
workers.
long.
That's keeps on saying, yeah, that's why they're the energy workers.
They don't damage nothing on the planets that they pull around, and also they're kind of magnetic too. So that the magnetic field of Earth, the dragon's able to connect to that magnetic field and be able to drag it with its tail too, without actually gripping down, but a way to pull it around.
Mm.
Yeah,
Mm.
that showed me.
That's very cool. I'm noticing after you've had these like either traumatic experiences or experiences with Bigfoot or Sasquatch, then it moved on to all these other things. You're opening doors to all these other things. I guess they were like, well, you can handle this. How about some dragons? They're probably showing you everything now.
Since I'm open, let's give them some more.
Well,
You know?
I see you, Ninja Dave.
I'm telling Ninja Dave in there.
Ninja Dave. Yeah, he's a couple.
All right,
of,
Ninja.
I just saw someone say something to Ninja Dave.
Okay, cool. I was gonna
He's
say,
a ninja.
Yeah.
He's a real live ninja. I was just thinking about him last night.
Oh, there he is. And the 2 flying dragon sightings, both in East Tennessee. Awesome.
It won't surprise me, but that's awesome.
yeah, he's our neighbor, and he's good friends with Janice Carter. And see, Janice Carter's her whole story is something else. She was raised with Bigfoots. And a lot of people don't even know anything about her. But anyway,
Okay.
I want to talk about. I'm trying to tell you stories that are both entertaining, but got good points,
love
right?
it. I love it.
Yeah, tell her about. Well, I'm going to tell you this
Hi,
one.
Robin.
He is the Galactic Federation. You know, he was going to these meetings, but he didn't really want to go. And he was kind of like, I don't really see the point of it. And he was coming and going, you know, and he's dragging every day. And I'm like, dude, stop spending your nights working. We got things to do during the day. Stop saving the earth. Stop saving the world.
Yeah.
You know, we got to change the flat tire today. But we got important things to do. Anyway, what I thought was really cool was when he was up there. I guess it was the last times. I don't even know, but the
first time ever going to a Galactic Federation.
One of his dragon buddies came over, and his head goes by the windows, and they're all
Just
like, "Oh, okay." So they all kind of gave you a what in the world?
What the heck is going on with this one?
Yes.
And then you, Matt, were just like, "What's up?"
Yeah,
I was like, that's my buddy,
That's
man.
my
He's
buddy
my
right
favorite. Hell yeah. He's my. Hey, I was not going to go to a Galactic Federation without some protection.
Of course.
Protection going in my way.
Yeah, I'm not trusting some of those characters now either myself. So you got to always have protection.
Exactly. If Scott the Bigfoot could be beside me, I'll be good. You know, at least I got him. Scorpion King there. I'm good.
Nice.
Just watch it.
Yeah, you're set then.
A few weeks ago, he was telling us about he spent a whole life on water one time. One of his lives.
My past life, I was like a pirate.
Matt's your life. Okay, your past life.
Yeah. And over time, he's pieces of it were coming back, and he was telling us. And there's a whole lot of comedy there. There's a whole lot of insane stuff.
My attitude's still the same.
He had an octopus. He had an octopus that is like out in space, and he had his dream, and he almost started to give the octopus a hug, but he ran. And he forgot.
At the meeting, the Galactic
he was
meeting.
You said he was in the back row.
Oh, yeah, at the Galactic Federation meeting with the octopus, he was in the very back row to the left, I guess, and he was just like sitting there, like he won't even look my way. While the Galactic Federation people were like tripping over the big dragon that's coming through.
It would crawl up on him, buddy. If he went to shore, it would crawl up on him and it would tap him if something he needed to look. I mean, it was his buddy. It was an octopus. And what happened on his last voyage, he used to drop his anchor all the way down. He'd be right in the middle of the ocean, and they would just, whenever he hit shore, he would know he's close to shore. Well, what happened was
you feel it.
He got yank, couple bites. Something had his anchor, and it was big. And at that point, I think the octopus knew, and so he like told you, drink up, buddy. He had some rum. Some rum. Finish that rum, buddy. This is it. And anyway,
that ain't ground, boys. Pretty much what he was telling me.
That ain't ground, boys.
Wow.
So what he does is he drank up, and he said, when it pulled you down, you were going down, and
my buddy Octopus. I went in. Whenever the octopus tells me to drink, I drink. That was my automatic thing I do. Whenever the octopus always told me to drink, that's what I do. That's what I did with my friends. I always goofed off, and that's what you know, that's one of my drunken thing I did back for that previous
He liked
life.
his rum.
Yeah, I was all about that rum.
All about that rum.
Rum screws are good. Yeah. Especially when you're on the sea.
All about that rum. So when he pulled you down, who pulled you down?
Well, the octopus, there was like the Kraken that was pulling the boat down and wanted me or something like that. But my octopus was like, well, you ain't going to have him alive. So my octopus at that time, he was huge. He used to be my telling of my boat. He used to ride on the back and just kind of like help push the boat along on no wind days just for the fun.
Nice.
He was kind of big, so at the time. And whenever the ship went down, he had me jump off instead. So I was like, okay, fine, I'll jump too. And that's whenever the octopus, he brought me down the water. He told me pretty much to hold my breath, or I just felt the sense to just hold my breath for as long as I can. So the octopus drug me down as fast as he can, straight down to the depths of the waters as fast as possible. And then instead of me dying of drowning, I died from compression.
Oh. I was thinking, I was like, how far down did you go? You're going to combust. Wow.
Ain't that amazing
Yeah.
story? I mean, he's told us pieces and parts as it comes back, and it's like, but he wouldn't go to land. Maybe stay on the dock. You didn't.
Yeah,
go
I
land.
never landed on land. I always stayed
He
on
wouldn't
water.
stay.
We were
Those rum legs.
we were at Myrtle Beach when he was like 2 years old and lost him,
Yeah,
and he
walked
went
off.
down 2 miles. And he just told me this past year that, oh yeah, I was just going to look for my ship and my octopus.
Oh,
Yeah.
Lordy.
Oh, see
Well, I
that
was doing-
recall, childhood
Whenever I
recall.
landed on land, I would, go on the beach. The only time whenever I get on the beach, I'd walk the whole island around, see how big the island was. And that's what I was doing, was walking the island. For some reason, I had a past memory that I was like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm on land, so I'm going to go look for my boat. Where's it at? Or go all the way around this island. So keep on walking around.
It's pretty
I'll
amazing.
eventually get around.
Aw. I love that. I've heard stories of that, like from kids that are like, hey, wait, where's my ship? You know?
Oh, that's cool.
That's really cool. Saying hi to Chili. Hola, Toka Detector. I see you there. And Ninja Dave's sharing stories. A black dragon looked dark gray with a spade-like tail. I think there was some kind of water dragon, amphibious. There's some great tales going on in here. I'm sorry, chat. I'm not keeping up with you because I'm enamored by all these stories. But you guys got some good stories coming in here. So thank you for sharing these. I'll share some that I can. Skinwalkers. You guys see any of those in Tennessee? Heard about the other guys in South Wintaki? What's South Wintaki? Is that by you? Let's see. You see that there?
Skinwalkers, you've seen. Let's see. No, we had that night in Kentucky where I'm trying to think what I could say without getting into YouTube trouble. I've got a video about those tarps. And I guess the same person that done those readings, the government labs dropped like mutants out of helicopters, some of their experiments, and they break arms and legs. So she saw all that in that reading. And so there's a lot of things, Middle Tennessee, that are a lot more than just Bigfoot. So as far as, running into the it or a lot of these things out there, there's no telling how much, because from her reading, the thing that was on the tree that night above us didn't have legs. It just had arms. That's why I didn't come down. It was shaking the tree. Mm-hmm. And the thing that went by us was kind of like she called it more like a robot, ET robot, really kind of like a scavenger. That's what she was getting from it. But like I said, we found 9 tarps. And if you take a look at those tarps, you'll see they all kind of like have holes in them. Like something was in it and it needed a peeky hole to see what was going on.
Oh.
So yeah, that's what we got. I just don't talk a lot about it because
gotcha.
It's there's fringe and then there's outside the fringe. I think we're going.
I gotcha. Yeah. You don't want those blending black at your doorstep. Have they ever come, or have you ever seen them?
Yeah. We used to be covered up.
The copters. Okay.
I think we got
checkers across our house.
We've got way too many spiritual friends and family. We've got.
I was gonna say
we've got
you're pretty protected.
giants and Bigfoots and dragons. So I don't. We got Gaia. We have so much support around us that I don't think anything get near us, which is really cool. And that's
really
why we're
cool.
able to talk about these things because just all the friends.
And maybe because we're so French, they think maybe no one would believe them.
No one would believe
I
them.
agree. Please think that. Because this stuff is getting me tripping.
Tripping.
Have you guys seen any orbs? Like little. Have you seen orbs?
Well, yeah, that was years ago. Years ago, we used to do. I haven't put any of that work out because this was before YouTube. But we used to do. That was one of the things we did was orb hunting, and we would go to anybody's. I don't want to trying to keep people from getting in trouble, but what we used to do was we'd go to graveyards and we'd go to churches and we'd go places at night, and we would take. You always take 2 pictures, chink chink with a flash, chink chink flash. And the first picture you'll see the orbs. The second picture they're gone. First picture there, second gone. You do that, you can start seeing. And then what's amazing is that if you go to certain churches, you'll be like, hey, you know that one green orb? He lives there. And you know that one orange orb that's like this big? He lives at that church. So we found out that there is correlations to places and types of orbs. So they're like
cool
communities. And like I said, we like graveyards and stuff because there was a lot of them. Makes sense because you're kind of like graveyard. But I think we stopped because I was standing there one day and Matt or somebody had their hand out and they was like, come to me. And I was like, okay, I'm out.
Good.
Because I was like, we're going to call them home. Right? We're
in your pocket.
Yeah, right.
So, yeah, we still take pictures when we're camping and stuff.
Yeah.
But
we don't call them.
That's all. That's just our entertainment. We don't actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Of course, we have, I don't know, 5 or 6 cameras out that run 24/7. So we catch, looks like fairies and orbs and the rods, flying rods. We do catch all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's just,
I think I saw one of yours, the flying with the rod flying.
Yeah.
One was scaly, I think, or like rigid, or all that kind of stuff.
Right. Yeah.
So when you see stuff like that now, you're probably like, because you've interacted with it.
Well, this morning we were sitting around talking about, the thing was talking about the fog. So we have different fogs. I have like 6 cameras, and I can actually track a fog. Which Smoky Mountains is basically Bigfoots travel in like a fog. Bigfoots do, and so Smoky Mountains is kind of known for. A lot of people don't know that, but you're looking at, and they've come through here in a fog. They have passed the cameras, and I could see them on camera 1, camera 2, camera 3, camera 4, and they go on, and it's a fog, but they're not. There's no fog outside.
They're foggy because sometimes, whenever it's like that fog, it's the heat off their body. You know how whenever you in the summertime or time of period, whatever, is steam off their bodies or their breath or however.
But you can't see them because
the fog around them is so thick because of their sting. They probably just got done running. That's what I'm hearing from Scott.
Probably got done running, yes, Scott.
Probably got done running or stuff like that, or trying to hide in some way within the fog. That's how they do it.
Do you think those crazy fog recently has anything to do with anything supernatural?
Straight.
He just heard that.
That was Scott and that was Gaia. Both saying that was the government, that fog. So, but there was natural fog in the surrounding areas. So it's both like.
Wow. That's strong when they come in like that because that's both Gaia and Scott said it was government.
Yeah, both of them. Yeah, Scott said he stayed away from the fog, even from the natural fog, the best he could.
Well, we talked to Scott the other day, and he's kind of like, "Hey, we're shutting down, dude. We're not. They don't want anything to do with the ET stuff or whatever." Yeah.
Well, it started with the equinox or solstice, just this winter solstice. He didn't want to do nothing in the winter solstice at all, for the purpose of so many energies going through the portals. So what he did is set himself up before the portal as spiritually. So him and his family is going to be protected energy-wise. And then after the portal, he gives thanks. And that's where he's at now. He's giving thanks to the spiritual ancestors of his.
And so we're a lot less reluctant to talk about, things because like Scott's got a family and kids, and we love them. They're great. They're great neighbors. We never seen them. He's seen them. Scott's been up in the tree in the middle of the moon, saying hi to Matt.
Full moon.
And Matt,
flashing the light on and off like
Matt got called out the other night. He was sleeping and an owl woke him up and said, "Come on out and play."
That was interesting because I was dreaming. I was thinking, I had the thought came in my head, and it was, would I want to come back in the next life as a Bigfoot?
Talking about
reincarnating back into a Bigfoot, and clearly out the door, out the window, I was like, "Is he calling me outside? What's that?" An owl woke me up out of sleep out of thought.
It wasn't owls. It was
Scott
or something.
Scott's Bigfoots, they kind of do that. They mimic owls and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it probably was him. And just like interesting.
Yeah, we got.
No, that's really cool.
We got to break on through this year. This is the year, like Jim Morrison, break on through the other side.
Yep.
I really feel like this is the spiritual year. This is the 9 year. I've got to get over my fear. Matt's got to get over his fears. Yeah. I want to sit down and smoke a cigarette, roll a cigarette with a Bigfoot, dude. I need to break through this. You know what I'm saying?
You mean break through the fears of them, or just?
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
Recognizing their presence.
Yes, I have not. I have not asked Scott to see him. I'm not.
Okay.
Now.
Okay. I have heard that, and I have had that experience when you call upon it and say, "I'm ready." There's some sort of, well, here you go. How are you gonna handle it? And I ran away twice from it.
Right. I asked, and
he asked because he was hearing him, so he needed to see something.
I was like, if I was going to talk on the behalf of Scott, a Bigfoot, a physical being, then I need to know that this physical being is as real as I'm hearing him. So it was like 2 or 3 nights later. I did my normal routine outside to lock up the chickens, and there he was. The light was going off and on. I looked up, and the moon was flashing because the tree was waving. There's the moon waving the full length over and over the moon.
It's a big old white oak too. We went and looked at it. But anyway, so you just
I saw him crawling down. There was no wind either, by the way, but I saw him right here crawling on down the tree.
And so at that time, you said, "I'm going back to the house."
After 7 times of it, after maybe 10 times of it waving.
And you said, "I'm going back in the house."
And I said, "I'm going back in the house, and I ain't got nothing to do with this."
Did you feel anything? Were your spidey senses or your hair raising up on your neck? Or does that happen?
That was there was no fear, just besides recognizing that what that's about is real.
Yeah.
It's like that's an actual thing that's going on.
Real, right?
That means if I can talk telepathy with a Bigfoot, that means I can talk telepathy with other people around. So it's like
exactly
tripping me up a little bit.
Yeah.
Just having the concept of having that is kind of like, I don't understand it very well.
I get it. Yeah, it's special, and you still want to protect yourselves, but it sounds like you have a good team in place. So, if you start branching out a little more, then you just ask for that protection.
Well, that's the biggest thing that I've really learned is we all get by with a little help from our friends. Never forget your spiritual tribe, family, friends, spiritual, Jesus, all of them, Archangel Michael, your grandma, everybody on the other side, and never forget you got physical people on this side too. And so you always got to remember that, because a lot of people, I think that's the most powerful thing. If you're the more you realize there's a spirit world and there's spirits and good and bad, the more you're going to need friends. Because we all need, like I said, that song is always, we always get by with the help from our friends.
Yeah. I love. Yeah. I get to teach kids that. That's part of my lesson, is teaching them that across the veil that you have a team, you have a support team, and you have to call upon them, if you're not feeling it, but notice for the signs. The signs are all over. But as much as you have them, you have ones that are trying to get at you too. So hence, keep your team in check. Keep them polished.
For some people, from what I see from another guy, is that even if you had like a bad mom or a bad dad and they passed away, they might be your number one help on the other side, because when they get to the other side, they will have to face themselves. And if they could get past recognizing what has been done to them and see what's going on with their child, then they might be able to make the connection of like, okay, I got to help this child out the best I can. So even if you did had a bad mom or father or grandparents or however, there is always someone on the other side that's there to help you out the best they can.
Oh, that screams loud to me. That's how I found my giant, because I married a giant, and he came around soon after my dad passed, and like very soon after, when I was maybe a month after he passed, I was on my knees, crying like I was not in a good place as a single mom and just asking for help. And then the way our encounters happen, it's one of those you can't make this story up.
No.
And it was a big old wink. And then friends who can see deeper, like, your dad said he was sorry he couldn't help you a lot in the last years, but he's there to help you now. And I'm like, oh, he sure did. He sent me a giant.
I can't remember where I first saw you. I don't know if it might have been on Midwest. I can't remember, but I was like, who is this crazy California girl trying to be a truther?
What is this about? California
look at
person
this
here.
stuff. And I'm like, no one out of California knows the truth, man. So we
got nice weather out there.
I always watch her with one eye open, one eye closed. Going, what is she doing? And over time, I'm like, I kind of like Heidi. She's bringing it out.
She's the new Popp.
She's new Popp. I'm like, she's I appreciate you, because I appreciate.
Thank you.
Having open
Well, I have
conversation.
Midwest blood. I got Midwest blood, my Midwest roots.
Yeah.
I'm more Chicago than not. And I had a grandpa that used to say he's part Cherokee, but none of the family believed him. But I did. I told my class I am.
I'm not going to ask you if that's true jet black hair. I'm not going to ask you.
Not anymore. But I had the Irish black and winter and auburn. But I'm a 50-year-old, I'm a hair girl kind of girl. And I'm not too proud of it to say it.
Yeah, that's why my dad's sisters are all jet black hair, pure black. I'm like, woo.
Yeah, with the light green hazel eye. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Were you with your jet black? No.
I'm brown. I'm gray.
Brown.
He's
This
great
is
now.
black.
He's black, with black with red.
I ain't
From
taking
last
this
I remember.
thing off. This is my protection.
I got black,
You're
red,
more white
blonde,
now.
gray. No, I ain't got gray.
I see it. And we have similar nose. Like my grandpa Joe, I'll just have to share a picture once. Yeah, raven black hair, dark skin, light eyes, that chiseled nose, and just like I just had the weathered kind of face. I believe it. I'm taking it to the grave. Ninja Dave shared something before from Native Americans. Speaking of, they were talking about the Smoky Mountains. They were saying the smoke is from the dragon smoke. Have you heard of that? I love the stories from the Native Americans, but that's where they were saying the Smoky Mountain name possibly came from.
Oh,
I don't know if you've heard
That's
that
very,
one. Yeah.
very intriguing because the dragon that I'm speaking to, the Appalachian spirit dragon, he's saying that the way he told me before was that he atomizes the air, and then with how he makes the fire is with a spark in his tongue, and that's how he catch everything on fire. But it's lightning is what it is. So he atomizes the air like gas, and then
energy workers, of course.
energy working, and then you spark, and then it explodes. This spark can come from anywhere. Technically, he doesn't have to light it. He just fill up the area up, and then the spark happens. He didn't do it. All he did is atomize the air, right?
That's
And then him saying that the fog is coming from the dragons has no doubt. It's the dragon saying no doubt.
No doubt.
Is it from him or from the other? Not from him. Maybe from one of his children, but that distinctive fog was not from the dragons. But what he was talking about is the Appalachian Mountains got the name from the dragons giving out the smoke. So yes, that was true. He says that was true. That was true.
Nice. Well, you're also getting a shout out from Mark's Adventure. He has to step out, but all the best for 2025. He had a good time, I think. And I'm supposed to tell Matt from Angel Wings, Scott still leaves me black walnuts outside.
Wow.
Awesome.
He saved those Angel Wings. Those are good parasite cleanses.
Yeah, they get them from. I guess he gets them from here. Yeah, we have black walnuts, so he's picking them up and taking them to her.
That's awesome.
My gosh, yeah, that's nice. Oh yeah, and Trish says
And
she's half Cherokee. She calls them my pit crew. She's got a pit
cousin
crew.
Ken.
Is that your cousin?
No, I don't know. Cherokee.
Oh.
So yeah.
Probably eventually somewhere.
I'm like right away, like, oh.
It's-
The dragons removed a memory block from Matt to remember even more. Came from Angel.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
we'll
really
do
that's
something else now. Dang it.
Oh, I got notes over here.
That's good though.
yeah, that's great. Oh, I see you. Hi, it's Jane saying Heidi's a Midwest girl. Blazer saying Oregon. Born outside Chicago, moved to Texas, moved to Oregon, back to Chicago, Wisconsin, and then LA. So, but I've been here 25 years now. So there you go. Half my life here. Everywhere else, running all over. So that's to close that one. I think. Oh, okay. She says. Oh, I just lost it. Where'd it go, Angel? Something about George the Giant. George the Giant is connected to her giant in the physical body. Wow, that's why we are all connected too. Oh, who? Who, Angel? Are you seeing that one?
Yeah, she gets her wings kind of pulled,
Yeah.
picked up.
Oh, that's right.
yeah.
That's right. She said that. Oh, no worries, Talca Detector. Thank you for being here. She's writing in from Chile, but she's like, my English isn't very good. She's still keeping up with the chat. I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, hi, Sovereign Cosmic Wildman. Sasquatch
Now-
wear head wraps too.
Now,
Do they?
Sovereign. Now his website, he gets, see that structure on his picture. He gets
Uh-huh.
these structures out on the beaches.
He finds them
That's-
everywhere,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
If you get a chance to check out his videos, I mean, I'm
Yeah.
like, whoa! I see amazing.
Yeah, they
I don't
do
know.
wear
It's
headdresses.
incredible stuff. It's
He's
out.
got
It's on the
some-
beaches.
He's got some goodies. Yeah. And you know, along the West Coast here, those are some of, I know there's the Sasquatch, but I know the wiki ups were what the Native Americans used. So, and the lean-tos. However, he's finding them everywhere, not just the beach. He's finding them inland too. So it's kind of cool. He's got a great page. I remember seeing that. So here he counts. I'm so believing. Oh, Ninja, it went too fast. You guys are too fast for me. Here I'm so believing because I've seen and had experiences together. Oh, have you had an experience with Ninja, Dave?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
that-
cool.
Came over.
Well, see, when I go in the woods, I'm just like walking through the woods. I'm not even looking around because I know they're there.
Mhm.
Dave would be like, "There goes one," and I'm like, "Dude, I don't care." Dave can see. He'll go, "Hey, see this?" He'll find these sticks that they stuck in the ground, and he'll be like, "See how this one is points to that one that points to this grave." And
it
so,
works.
going out with like I said, he's hung out with Janice Carter for, I don't know, forever. And so when you go out in the woods with him, he sees all kinds of stuff.
Well, not just that. He's a real live ninja. I mean, technically, he had an experience where someone stole something of his somehow.
Yeah.
And he
he
went to
needs
the
to tell that
guy's
story
house.
someday.
Yeah, we need to record it. He needs to record it. He needs this out. I mean, that's me. I won't tell him to do it, but that's different.
Ninja.
That's on his
Ninja.
will. However,
Ninja Dave.
the go ninja. But yeah, and
Do
someone stole his stuff, and then he went to his house, and he came into the person's house super quietly, where there's people around, and none of them saw him.
Yeah.
But he got to this one person, and he got his whole story about that.
You want him to tell it.
Okay.
He has to
Yeah,
tell.
he'll
it.
tell.
I
He'll
can
tell you.
what I remember, but
But it
He's
was
a
all
rock star on it.
supernatural. He's had a lot of
Okay.
he had
Yeah.
the Bigfoots or something like that chase out people out of the woods while he was behind this tree or
he's
something like
been-
that,
Yeah.
and he got covered up in a white light or something like that.
Yeah,
hard to remember.
yeah.
He got some experience in the woods where he
Yeah.
got an archangel help him or something, and the Bigfoots came in front of him, and he was told to keep his eyes down and eyes shut because you cannot, like in the Bible, you can't look at the Lord with your eyes. You have to have your eyes closed and you can hear him, something like that. And if you look at him, you turn to stone type of deal or something bad. So that's what he felt at the time. So he had to close his eyes.
Tina's mouse over there. She's listening. She's never heard us. We go through all kinds of stuff we've never
He
heard.
got some solid stuff.
Ninja Dave, I'm going to stalk you. We got to hear about this. He's been sharing about hydrogen,
My mom's hollering for it.
I love it.
Heck
I
yeah.
think they're sharing a bunch about seeing dragons fly. That I think earlier I was reading about. They say it's more like a floating, like a fish, and they're wondering if that's because they're full of. I think they're talking about hydrogen now, but I don't know about that. Well, you tell. Yeah, have you heard all that before? I know
Yeah,
it
I
went.
mean,
Yeah.
well, I've got like a camera in my garage, for example, and they'll come through the wall and go right through.
They,
So I've kind of
Yeah,
realized
flew
they're
through a wall.
and I think a lot of people. So I mean, they said there is things flying at night, but when
Mhm.
a bug doesn't go flying through your garage wall and right through, so
Right.
some of these things are interdimensional.
That's
We're
what I,
seeing-
I strongly feel that. Yeah, super,
Yeah.
super. Well, as we are winding down, we got about 5 to go. Any fun, quick other tales? I mean, you've had so many good, juicy stories, and I kind of
Yeah.
blew all my questions out of the water because I'm
It's
just
okay.
hearing them all.
We
I'm
just
excited.
threw everything on the table. Plus,
I
like I said,
love it.
yeah, we
I
didn't tell
love
you about the leprechaun that gave them a box behind a cedar tree.
Yeah.
You
No,
know? Yeah, I got notes over here.
is that during St. Patrick's? Like, was that a leprechaun during or just randomly?
No, we were driving down the road. I mean, he has trees yell at him. We come out of a restaurant the other day, or well, a month ago,
about
2 months ago,
A couple months.
and a
Yeah.
tree across the parking lot said, "Hey, come here." And that's like that.
out, man.
Check me out. And it was a Jupiter tree,
Juniper.
a juniper tree. We'd never seen a juniper tree. But anyway, this tree called him, and we're going there going, "Oh, this is really cool." We're standing out in the parking lot.
It's
People
like a cedar and
I mean,
a
we're-
pine tree mix.
we're definitely
Exactly what it looks like.
we're definitely the idiots in the city because we're all look at this
Look at this tree.
This is a cool tree,
cool
man.
tree, man. And he's talking to it. Well, yeah, you're nice. And I'm like, people are going to call the law on us, but we got to get out of here.
Oh, I love it. And that was when you were a child, right, Matt? You started talking about the tree
this
thing.
was
just
A
recent.
couple weeks
Well,
ago.
not this instant, yeah, but the tree connection you found out when you were young. Okay,
Very young.
yeah.
Yeah,
Did
yeah,
it freak you out? Were you just like, "Who's talking to me?" Or were you
They
figured
always
it out
came
pretty
into
quick?
a good voice of
Yeah.
like, they didn't push themselves onto me, right? So it's not like
Yeah.
demanding spirits, you know, they're like
Yeah,
they
he
have
has
to
a-
have their way to talk to me. No, it
Yeah.
was. That's why a lot of people don't look here's trees because they don't push themselves onto people.
They don't.
So if you
Gotta be
don't
open.
like
You got to be
look,
open.
if you ain't open to
Yeah.
the trees, then the trees ain't going to be open to you. Is what it felt like.
Let me tell you about the leprechaun.
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay.
Leprechaun.
So we were driving down the road coming home, and we'd stopped at a red light. We were behind some cars, and you were in the passenger seat.
Yep.
Okay, and I was driving, and there was a cedar tree, and I was like, "What's that? What's that cedar tree think?" I'm just bored. We do this all the time. We talk. We go to the restaurant. We go to the grocery store. I'm like, "Hey, how about this pig?" And he's like, "No, this pig's not happy. Give me another one." I mean, we talk to everything. And,
This is a hog. He's mean.
this was hog. He's mean. Let's get him.
we want it.
We want him. But we're not joking. Yeah. But anyway, he says, "Well, this leprechaun. What happened? The leprechaun." Tell
Yeah,
me.
the leprechaun jumped onto my lap with the box and said, "Here, take this." Like very demanding. It's straight up like a redhead would come to anybody. Like just straight up
Redhead
like,
giants,
"Hey, take
George."
this." Like look at you directly in the eye.
Yeah.
Hey, take this. This is yours. And then jumps away and like you didn't even do it like comically.
So he's like for like, yeah. So he's like for like weeks, years. Got this box. And he's like, "I don't know what I'm supposed to do." He goes, "It's all kinds of stuff in there. I don't even know what I'm doing with it." And you recently got it all set
on
up
Rob's channel.
on
on
Rob's
the
channel.
live, I start playing with it.
He starts playing with it, so it's got mirrors
Oh,
and
wow.
stuff in it. You
Yeah.
tell him,
Oh,
"Well,
whoa.
Like actually I just spiritually did it with energy that was coming through.
He
the
lets people.
screen.
He lets people borrow his box too. I
Yeah.
think Scorpion King's borrowed it, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. It's been everywhere. So box is like a the box is just a spiritual thing that doesn't go nowhere. It's always in the middle of everything. So whenever someone's looking through the screen, they will see the mirror to what they're looking for. Like they're seeking for information about a topic, they'll be brought to this information through the box type of deal. And if they tap into the energy of where this information is coming from, they can actually get direct information from it. That makes sense, right?
So you've been
Sure.
using it to help people, direct people to where they need.
where they
It's
need
like
to,
people that come to you.
instead of
He
remote
uses
viewing
it,
me,
mirrors
they get
and
to remote view into the box to not
But
really
you
in the
make-
box, but
You use the
reflected
box.
off the
You-
box.
Yeah.
You
to
use the
what they're
box.
looking for.
You use the box to help people make connections to the sources for they need their information. 'Cause
Yeah,
a lot
like-
of people, like in this live, there'll be people come at you, and you're like,
Mhm.
you guys go that way, you go that way, you go that way.
Yeah, some people need to talk to Scorpion King because they got certain type
So-
of religious things going on. It's like, how does this correlate with this and this and this and this? And the Bible got this and this and this. Well, the Scorpion King is going to be like, well, this is how it plays out.
Right.
Oh,
So he's
okay.
basically-
or towards George or towards the dragon. People are able to connect
Right.
just by feeling the energy.
Right.
It's just a frequency. Your brain works as a
Let's say for
frequencies.
forever, we were like, he's a trickster, and then we didn't touch him.
Yeah, I didn't.
We went through that whole road.
Right.
We did that
Right.
whole
I was
road.
wondering.
Yeah,
I
we
was
went
wondering
through-
what you would do, because that was something in the flesh you're saying that handed to you, like a little redhead leprechaun in the flesh, or how? No, it wasn't in the flesh.
It's like
It's
the
all-
energy of
Gotcha.
the leprechaun literally jumped out of the cedar tree and got into my lap, just set the box on my lap, and then he just like told me, yeah, like the way Dad's looking at me just right there that reminded me of him. He just like, you need this, take this, and then he hops out.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, yeah.
It was just like,
But I'm like,
Wow.
I'm
Yeah,
like,
that does need to be a movie, Blazer. That needs to be a movie. I'm hearing.
that'd be fun.
But I'll be like, yeah, man, stay in that box, dude. I don't know what that. And everyone, at that time, we were
Thinking everything or
Predators. I tell you,
stuff.
George has been huge. Not George. Scott has been huge to help us get a real sight in life. And George
to follow spirit.
and Guy.
Nothing
If
in
it
this
hadn't been
world
all these people,
besides
Jim
follow
Morrison's
spirit.
come in and helped us out.
That's so
He's
cool.
He talked to Mary
Mary Magdalene.
Mary
Mary
Magdalene.
Magdalene.
He's
Mhm.
talked to her, and she told us the truth. She was not a prostitute; she had bad husbands, and the Romans raped all the literature,
The
including all
Romans
her
are the
books.
rapists of the
The
literature.
rapists of literature. And
I
so,
believe it. Yep.
Yeah.
Those are her words.
yeah, that was her words, right?
Aw.
But yeah,
Aw. Yeah, Jay's telling me Jim should mention Sasquatch in the Bible. Have you seen Sasquatch in the Bible?
The Fury
yeah,
Man,
yeah.
the,
Genesis 25.
25.
Oh, there you go.
Genesis 25 says, and he was born, and he was hairy, and he was red.
Esau and
And
Jacob.
he was
I think.
fully, 25 is right there.
I didn't know that.
Jacob put on hair on his arms so he could take
Yeah,
the
remember the
inheritance of
story?
his brother.
Yeah, you remember the story?
Which was Harry.
Cain was hairy.
Cain was supposed to be
Yes.
hairy.
Abel was not.
Abel was not.
And then
Oh, that's right.
Esau and Jacob.
Esau and Jacob.
Esau was Harry.
That's where you get
Esau
into
was
this.
hairy.
That's where you get
Yeah.
into the thing. He stole the inheritance for a cup of soup. Did the Bigfoots give it away? I don't really want the city. I'm going in the woods. I mean, there's a lot there to unpack in your mind that I'm still trying to figure out.
There's so much to unpack.
Yeah, there is.
Right?
Hey, Muddy Creek, thank you. The Muddy Creek saying, I love Tennessee, Kentucky Bigfoot. That's the next one here. Yay. Oh my gosh. Well, that's fantastic. I think we're just going to have to do another episode at some point because there's much more to say
And
and share.
Muddy Creek,
It's awesome.
Muddy Creek podcast. He had on the Alaska last night. Fred, man, I missed it last night. I was so ticked off. I missed him. He had Fred from Alaska on last night.
Oh,
Man,
Dang it.
I missed it last night. Oh, no, it was today. Yeah, I saw it today. I missed it today.
Oh,
But
this
he had
morning.
Fred on.
This morning.
So
we'll catch that replay.
yeah,
Yeah,
shout out to Muddy Creek podcast. I was like, dang it.
there you go. Hope, and to anybody who is catching the replay, I hope you enjoy it. Enjoyed this. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. And you guys, this is really fun. Thank you so very much.
Well, thank you for
I'm
having us.
enamored. You always have a place on the West Coast if you dare venture this way. but I think we're going to start migrating to you.
Yeah.
We got a place here.
Me and Tina used to come out to LA every Saturday, Sunday.
Something like that.
And,
yeah, we would be
we-
up in.
We were truck drivers for a while, so we would pick up a
Oh.
load out of FedEx down in LA,
Yep.
so I was like, man, if we hadn't been, we did that for about a year or two,
Wow.
but yeah, we was in the Bay Area every
Every week.
Wow.
You know, we
That's
used
a
to-
big drive. Yeah.
Moss Landing. Yeah, we spent a lot of time at Moss Landing.
Okay.
Well
My
watching.
giant's a driver too. He loves he's just
Yes,
peaceful.
yes.
He likes the
Yeah,
quiet,
that's good
peaceful
stuff.
of it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
It's
how we
good.
started listening to all the psychos on
All right.
the
It's the
radio.
best time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
coast to
Around the
coast.
world.
Yep. 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 Yeah. He might get into long shot trucking or long, what's it called? Long
Yeah,
shot, hot shot trucking, I think.
yeah,
is
yeah,
it.
yeah. We became team. We mastered that stuff. We had dedicated route to Cali. We were
Nice.
killing it. We killed it. We're
Oh,
professionals. We were Air Force, so
sweet.
I threw her into a truck one day and she says, she got home. She goes, I don't know if I can do this. I said, you don't think God can help you? And she shut up right then.
She got like,
And then she became one of the dang toughest, meanest truck drivers there is.
Oh, that's
I've
so
been out there
hot.
I've been out there in California. Hear someone screaming, she'd be out there, get out of my way. I was here first. I was like, yeah, she got it. I'm going back into sleep or going back to bed.
That's awesome.
She's been like I said, she's been abused. But she's not tough. She's tough.
but she's tough.
Well, that's awesome.
No more.
She don't take no crap.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Well, I know you guys have your YouTube channel. I know you're on Facebook. Are you on any other social media or?
Yeah, I'm on every platform that I could stay on without getting kicked off. That's why I don't do a whole lot of lives on my. I don't want to lose my channel. Your channel, that's your problem.
Everything's for entertainment purposes only.
Yeah, exactly. Everything's for entertainment purposes only.
Yes.
And
yes.
yeah, we just appreciate the opportunity to get more information out. And I'm putting out more videos. We put out one today that's pretty heavy, and I told people that if you're hard-headed and you're triggered easy, don't watch it because I'm just going to put it out. And we got some more stuff we're putting out,
Good.
and really just trying to get out more information, trying to get people to open up their minds. I know that people need to open up.
Yeah.
That means I can't watch my own videos. I'm too hard-headed.
Because you're too hard-headed. And what you're putting out, is this the older stuff now, or are you coming back into some new stuff now?
It's stuff that we've repacked that we didn't put out right or don't have organized, or you couldn't hear, the volume wasn't right, or the video wasn't right. So, and we're taking and capturing it. I don't know if you saw one I put up today, but it's kind of a collection of, I don't know, it's like 8 or 9, but there's readings from Jesus, because he talked to Jesus, talked to God. There was readings from Jim Morrison in there. There's readings from Gaia, George, readings really trying to get out the whole picture,
The
right?
stuff
The
we
whole
wrote
picture
down on
about
Facebook, stuff like
the
that.
spirituality and death and your soul and all that kind of. That's really, I think that's what people need, is to, get out of the hacked minds that we've been put into.
If religion's trying to keep you from free thinking, then your religion is trying to control you in some way.
Amen. Yep.
Yes.
That's it. For Leprechaun entertainment purposes only, too.
Yes.
Please remember
Leprechaun's
that.
always fun.
And thank you, Sovereign. Well, wonderful. Well, thank you so very much. Thank you to this lively, lovely chat. I apologize I didn't totally keep up with you, but I love that you entertained yourselves. And I loved seeing all those stories too. So, and you guys, thank you. I would like to play again, because I do feel like there's just a mound more of stories, and you're just going to keep accumulating more as we go every day. So keep putting out great content and keep growing your tribe. This is a wonderful community. And I'm blessed to have met people through you guys now too. So thank you for that. Yeah. Thank you. Thanks, Jane.
Everybody subbed to Heidi.
Heidi.
She's bringing it on. Her and Midwest, they're bringing it on. Bring it on, everybody, because I love it. All the conversations, all the talks is very important, for people to talk and get
Absolutely.
through all
We all need a voice, and I'm not a fan of division in these communities. I'm not a fan of they can say these things and they can say these things and you have to pick a side. Hell no. So we are a side-free show.
We're just going to play like the Fringe.
Yeah. Yes. I got to work on my fringe here. I'm just kidding. Cheers, everybody. Bye, Tina. Thanks for chiming in.
And thank you.
Hang on one sec, guys. Thanks, everybody, and we'll see you soon. Okay. Bye.